Hi, Faith family. Hope you're doing well today. You know, one of the most precious promises of God's Word is 1 Corinthians 10:13, where Paul tells us that no trial, no temptation will overcome us, but that God will give us a way of escape. Now, often when I think about that precious promise, I like to put it in the context of what Paul writes in the next letter to the Corinthians, where in chapter 1, 8 and 9, he tells his readers that he doesn't want them to be uninformed of what he's facing. And he says that the trials of life are intense. In fact, he says that the sentence of death was upon them and that they despised even life itself. But then from chapter 1, he writes this in chapter 4, 16, 17, and 18. And just listen to how Paul frames this struggle, this trial, this temptation, this sentence of death. He says, this momentary light affliction is producing for us an eternal weight of glory, far beyond all comparison, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things that are not seen, eternal. I don't know how you're doing during this crisis. I don't know what trials, what temptations have come up. I don't know if you feel like Paul does in chapter 1 of 2 Corinthians, where he says the sentence of death is upon him and that he despises even life. But whatever's happening, I would encourage you to frame this the way he does in chapter 4, viewing them as momentary and light. He can say momentary and light because of the hope of heaven. He sees what God is doing in this eternal perspective, that it's producing something, an eternal weight of glory. But he also can say that they're momentary and light because he's aware that God is doing so many things in the midst of this plan and process that he knows that he can trust. John Piper says it this way. He says, we're aware of 3 of the 10,000 things that God is doing right now in this moment. So I'd encourage you to walk by faith. Trust what it is that God is doing in your life, in the life of our community, the life of our nation, the life of the world, and realize that what we cannot do is look to the things which are seen, but look for the things that are unseen, knowing that will produce this eternal weight of glory which is far beyond all comparison.